I want to make one comment here. Jan Lemon thinks she's off the hook, like this is the last of her gig tonight, but no, Jan. Person here is a lifetime position. You didn't know that when we awarded you with it, okay? Now, she had a very nice spaghetti dinner last weekend on Friday to raise money to put up a monument for a gentleman by the name of Charles Sawetka. And he was a Medal of Honor recipient for a Spanish-American War. Theodore Roosevelt gave him his award in 1902. And Jan exceeded the amount of money that she was planning on raising for this monument. So let's give Jan a hand. And at that event, there were many persons of the year. I saw Rick Perry there, Reverend Kren on his way in. Where's the other person here? I know there was more of them there that night. Bill Kren was there. So, all right. One thing, you don't have to be named Bill to get this event, but you're the third Bill to get this event.
Does increase your chances.
Bill Simon, Bill Kren, now Bill Kren. People get Kren and Kren mixed up.
I bet.
Especially if they've had communion, right, Reverend Wells? Okay. So, this time I'm going to introduce our Chamber of Commerce dignitaries. President Patty Braden, back here. Okay, Patty's doing a great job. She brought some fresh ideas to the Chamber of Commerce and really doing a great job. Not with us tonight, Cecil Taylor is our incoming, she'll be president installed in May. You guys know Treasurer Jim Napierkowski, he's not with us tonight. Secretary Julie Allison is here tonight. Executive Director Betsy Krampitz. Our event planner. Terry Bridges of the Spirotech Corporation. Tim Key, City of Romulus. J.R. Rope, Metro Realty Group. Dave Goodwin, Goodwin Latham Insurance, longtime member. Harley Fisher, Jack Demmer Ford. Unfortunately, we lost Jack Demmer here in the last year. Jack was a very big supporter of the Chamber of Commerce. Okay. Pete Bergeron is one of our Board of Director members. Larry Williams, I mentioned he's on the Person of the Year committee, could not be with us tonight. Keith Johnston, Johnston Lithograph, you guys know the printers over there on Hunt Street, they've been here forever. We've got Margie McAnally, our superintendent of schools. It's always good to see Diane Banks Lambert. Yours truly is the next one on the list from Landis Machine Shop. And then Jeff Lowry, Jeff here tonight. Jeff is one of our newest board members, very enthusiastic. So that rounds out the board of directors. And then I have to mention Karen LaBelle tonight. So Karen, wherever you are, okay? You know, I always say, like, as an employer, when I lose an employee, when they go somewhere, I always hope that they better themselves. I don't say, you know, hey, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't let the door hit you on, you know what, on the way out. I wasn't going to say that. Okay, but everybody helped us get to a certain point, and Karen at one point helped us get this far. We're going to talk about Bill a little later on, that he helped us get to a certain point. So it's all good. Okay? We're going to bring up Denny Davidson.
Thank you. Please don't stand. Thank you very much. I'm proud to announce I asked the people at my table, did I get anything on me? And I didn't. So that's kind of cool. Unlike lunch today when I had pizza all down the front of me. So I'm going to introduce the dignitaries in attendance tonight. Our representative in Lansing, and is going to be our next senator in Lansing, Erica Geis. Wayne County Commissioner Al Hayes. Registrar Leroy Burkroff. Treasurer Stacy Page. City Clerk Ellen Craig Brad. Mayor Pro Tem John Barden. Councilwoman Tina Talley.
That's how you wave to an audience.
Now, I want you to be witness in this. Bill says I never introduce him. You never introduce me. I'm going, all right. Bill Wadsworth, you're here, right? Right there. Come on. All right, you're my witness. You never introduced me. You're introduced tonight, Bill. Thank you very much. Longest serving elected official in the city of Romulus. We thank you for your dedication. Councilperson Virginia Williams. Now it's my pleasure to introduce those who have been honored by our city and our city council in the past. And I would like to have those who are here to stand and those who represent them to stand. And of course, what Mark said earlier in the evening, that the very, very first honoree was Bill Simons. Bill Simons was a friend of mine. I was at the very first one. I know it's hard to believe looking at me that I'm that old, but representing Bill Simons is Lynn Conway. Would you please stand, Lynn? Thank you. Stay standing if you will. And if I've missed a, Lynn, I said stay standing if you would. Okay, thank you. And if I missed a representative from any of these people who have since passed away, please forgive me, but remind me and stand up. Doug Baum, Carl Morris, who's represented by Donnie Morris. Don. Jason Levette, Gil White Sr., Joyce Palmer, Leo Collada, Jerry Nault, Dan Bales, who's with us tonight. Mary Ann Banks, represented by Diane Banks Lambert. Richard Cruz. Beverly McAnally, represented by Dan. Bill Kren, who's back there in the Colcan stable. Florence Klein, Arlen Wichelow, Hilda Block, Geneva Clark, who all those people have deceased, unfortunately. Ron Hobson, who I wish he could be here tonight, but he's cannot make it. Richard Donahue, Steffi Ballman, Maria Lambert is here. Linda McNeil, Mark Lukowitz, who is not deceased. How great Art Willis. Julie Allison. Rick Perry. Jim Poet. Pat and Lynn Ostrowski. Brian Oakley. Pearl Varner. Sheldon Chandler. And Jen Lemon. These are past, we're looking forward to the future. Thank you very, very much. Now for the presentation of the resolutions and accolades, I'm going to bring back up Reverend Art Willis.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you, Mark. We certainly appreciate all that you guys have done. It's great. Bill, I got to let you know this is important. I really tried hard to get you a proclamation from the White House. I really worked hard at it, but there was so much confusion. First of all, past President Clinton thought that he should be the one that signed it. And then George Bush said no, he should be the one that signed it. And Clinton said no, it should be him because you was in office and as a pastor in Romulus when Clinton was in office, and Clinton figured he should do it. And Bush said no because you voted for Bush, and Bush said he should do it because you voted for him. And then Barack Obama said no, it should be him. He should sign it because he's the first black president, and I'm giving it to you. And since I'm happy to be black, that he should be the one to sign it. And then our current president, Trump, said no, he's the sitting president, so he should be the one to sign it. So we had all these 4 presidents trying to figure out who's going to sign your proclamation, and they couldn't figure it out. And then when they said, well, maybe we'll have President Trump sign it, we had a problem because he keep firing everybody, or they keep quitting. We had nobody in office to sign it. So then the Senate got involved. I went to Pennsylvania Avenue and went the other side to get the Senate and the House. They had a problem because they want to know was going to be the Republican going to sign or the Democrat going to sign it. And they had a problem. And then we got the Supreme Court justice involved in it. They want to write the law, what language going to be put on it. And at that time, Bill, I just said, man, the heck, I left Washington and came on back tonight. And you don't have one from the White House at all because they can't figure out what they're doing. So you don't have one from there. So that's why you have it. I'm going to take a little liberty, if you don't mind, since I am driving right now. I think it's appropriate that we have our mayor come first. Unless you don't want to, but since he's the mayor of the city, and let's have him come first. Bill is his pastor, so he's going to come in and give us a presentation first.
How do I get some coffee? Everybody else I'm seeing, they get some.
Kren, can you come up, please? Good evening, everybody.
Good
What a great
evening.
night. Let's give Bill a round of applause. So I'll first do the proclamation, and I just want to say a couple words. This is official proclamation in recognition of Reverend William Kren. I, Leroy D. Burcroft, Mayor in the city of Romulus, do hereby proclaim, based on Art Willis' sarcasm, the whole month of April. It's your month. So, first ever, it ends on Monday though. So, that's your proclamation. But, I just want to say, and this is an honor for me, seriously, because Bill was my pastor, Bill is my friend, and I have to go to a lot of events. This is one I am honored to be at, Bill, because to see you get the recognition that you more than deserve. He was not just a great pastor, but spending time from Bible study classes, Sunday school classes, visiting my dad when he was ill, coming down, having prayer with him, visiting other shut-ins. This man does a lot behind the scenes, and you're going to probably hear a few of those stories tonight. But in the community, he never left Romulus. And it was tough for me because I was chairman of the pastor-parish relations when we changed pastors. Remember that? And talk about a man with class. And it could have been really divide the church and divide the community. And he did it with integrity, and he continued to serve the Lord. He stayed in Romulus, stayed in Rotary, was always a part of our community, and I'll never forget that. Because in the Methodist Church, we have people by nature that come and go, and that's just part of the system. But the great part about Reverend Kren is he didn't just stay physically and stay active, but his spirit will forever be in our community. And I love him. I appreciate all he's done for our community in all different capacities, and I'm honored that the Chamber recognized him here tonight. May God continue to bless you and your family. Bill Kren.
Bill to sit down because he's going to be up and down a lot, so we got a cheer for him there. Get prepared tonight. At this time, we're going to bring in one person that's really doing a lot for our country, for our city, for our state. She's always around Her husband is always around, and we're grateful for both of them working as a team. State of Michigan special tribute is going to come from Erica Geis. She's come at this time. Give her a round of applause.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Oh, you guys can do better than that? Come on. Good evening, everybody. Awesome. So, unlike Washington, we are a little more organized in Lansing.
It's a low bar. That's a low bar.
Oh, sure. Maybe you can get away with it.
Just this once. So it is my absolute honor to be able to present this special tribute that is on behalf of myself, Senator Hopgood, who could not be with us this evening, and Governor Snyder, and our Lieutenant Governor, Brian Calley. And I have a message also from Governor Snyder. He is unable to attend tonight, but he does wish you the best for a successful event and a heartfelt congratulations. So I want everyone to look at your program for a second. And just the front, the cover. And so before I was in the legislature, one of my previous existences was being an art historian. So I'm trained to look at pictures. And the photo of you just speaks volumes about your character, about the love that you have for your community, for all of the people in it, and that how the glowing smile that's behind your eyes, and it's just an example of who you are and how much you bring to everything that you've done for our community. And I'm going to
Think
read
you might want to turn that
part
off?
of this special tribute. These things tend to not be as poetic, so I won't bore everybody, but I'll read the salient points. Special tribute for Reverend William Kren. Let it be known that it is with great pleasure that we recognize Reverend William Kren as the 33rd Romulus Person of the Year. For more than 2 decades, Reverend Kren has been active in the city of Romulus and a top supporter of local community projects, programs, and activities. His dedication, devotion, and love for Romulus and its residents have always been a priority in his life. Reverend Kren and his wife Sue moved to Romulus in the summer of 1988 after accepting an assignment with the Community United Methodist Church, pastoring at the Community UMC, allowing him to serve both in and outside of the church. Throughout all of the work that you have done over the past 3 decades, Reverend Kren has gone above and beyond for his community. His dedication to his family, his friends, and his community is truly admirable. The city of Romulus has been truly changed for the better as a result of Reverend Kren's amazing work. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedication to congratulate Reverend William Kren on being named the 33rd Romulus Person of the Year. May you know of our admiration and warmest. So this is from Young Hopgood, our state senator, from myself, our state representative, Brian Calley, the lieutenant governor, and Rick Snyder, our current governor.
Thank you so much. Thank you from the governor's office. We are grateful. This time we're going to have someone representing Stacy Page, who will come to represent County Executive Warren Evans. With her proclamation, she comes. Stacy, come at this time. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes.
Good evening. First of all, I want to personally congratulate Reverend Kren. I've known him for about 9 years, and when I heard that the committee selected him, it was no surprise. I was just very happy for him. To know him is to love him, and I know he gives of his time, talent, and treasures to the community, as well as other communities, and that's just a rarity nowadays, and so I congratulate you. You definitely deserve it. I'm reading a proclamation from the office of Wayne County Executive, Warren Evans. Whereas William Kren has been actively involved in the Romulus community for nearly 2 decades, always striving to make it a better place. And whereas William Kren founded and served as first president of the Romulus Ministerial Alliance. And whereas William Kren helped organize community Good Friday services and the yearly Romulus National Day of Prayer ceremony. And whereas William Kren continues to serve as Secretary of the Romulus Downtown Development Authority, remains an active member of the Romulus Rotary Club of Romulus, the Romulus Mayor's Drug Task Force, and the Chamber of Commerce. And whereas William Kren also volunteers for the Veterans of America, has been a participant and organizer of the Romulus and Belleville Crop Walk, and has volunteered with Gleaners Community Food Pantry. And whereas William Kren's dedication and devotion to the city of Romulus is a clear demonstration of his love for the community that is hard to match. Therefore, be it hereby proclaimed that I, Warren C. Evans, on behalf of the citizens of Wayne County, extend my congratulations to Reverend William Kren on being recognized as Romulus Person of the Year for his many good works elevating his community. Signed this the 27th day of April, 2018.
Thank you so much, Stacy. At this time, we have a couple of presentations that are not on your programs. We're going to fill those in as we go along. We're going to ask, if you don't mind, Sheila Spacek from the Romulus Drug Task Force. She's going to come as we present Bill an award for being part of the Romulus Drug Task Force. Bill was the president of the Romulus Drug Task Force while I was the member. And then Bill got a new job. Bill got a new job as being a bishop. So he ran all over the country, so he could no longer be president. And since Bill could no longer be the president, he got me involved, so I became the president. So, but whenever he comes to the meeting, he's always the president, because he always say, get it moving, get it moving, get it moving. Somebody talk too long, he'll say, talk too long. So he's still being president, even though I'm the president. And so he's my friend, so I'll let him be president. So Sheila's gonna read what we have for him, and she's gonna present to him.
The Romulus Drug Task Force honors its member, William Kren, for being chosen the Romulus Chamber of Commerce 2018 Person of the Year.
Roger?
Come on.
Thank you, Sheila. At this time, we're going to have the Wayne County Commissioner, Al Hennis, going to come up, make his presentation. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes. Al is going to come and make his presentation. I do want to apologize if you can't follow me. I have my own guidelines, so yours is there. Write them in as I go.
It is a great honor to recognize people who make extra effort sometimes to make a difference in our lives. And I know Bill for many years. We served together on the Salvation Army Board. First when I met him, I didn't know he's a man of a church, but I felt like he's too good to be average man, very well-spoken, well-behaved, And then finally, when I find out he's a man of God, I felt like God chose the right person for that job. And then on the other hand, I find out he's involved in the communities, not only in one community, in many other ones. And, you know, I felt blessed to cross the path with a friend like him. And when I find out the chamber want to give him the award Person of the Year, I felt it's one event I will not miss. Just to tell him thank you for his friendship personally. And secondly, to present you in behalf of all the people from Wayne County and the commission, what this resolution was voted on by unanimous vote by the county commission. Recognize your quality, your effort, your involvement, your help to the people who need help. So give me great honor to present it to you in behalf of Wayne County Commission.
Thank you so much, County Commissioner Al. We're grateful for you. This time, we're going to have one of our long-standing council person going to come up at this time. Councilman William Wadsworth. He's going to come with his resolution and whatever he's going to do. He's old enough to do it.
I'm not his brother.
You know, I used to worry that Mark Lupowitz was going to talk too long. Now I'm worried that Reverend Willis is going to keep talking. Where'd he go? Do you hear me? You know, I first met Bill in, you probably don't remember, but it was at a friend of mine, George Scar's funeral in the year 2000 or 99. And I liked you right off the bat. And over the last 18 years, I don't like it as much anymore, but I'm still going to read this one. All kidding aside, it says a resolution recognizing Bill Kren. Whereas Reverend William Kren has been chosen by the Greater Romulus Chamber of Commerce for the 33rd Person of the Year, and whereas William Kren is an ordained minister in the Evangelist Church. Reverend Kren and his wife Sue moved to Romulus in 1998, and after accepting a assignment at the Community United Baptist Methodist Church.
Ooh, almost had a fight.
Pastoring at the church allowed him to serve in the community, and he would volunteer whenever there was an opportunity to make a difference in a town that he loved. And it says that he also founded and served the first president of the Romulus Ministerial Alliance, and remains an officer as of right now. He helped organize the Community Good Friday service and the National Day of Prayer, which is held monthly, Sunday services at the Romulus Tower. Whereas in 2006, after 8 years of the Community United Methodist Church, the Krens moved on to another venture. They remain property owners in Romulus. Reverend Kren remains active in the town and continues to serve as the secretary of the Romulus Downtown Authority. And he is active member of the Romulus Rotary and the Mayor's Task Force and the Chamber of Commerce, where he once served as president. Whereas William Kren's involvement in the community project also includes the annual Martin Luther King Walk, the citywide Clean Sweep, the Pumpkin Festival, the Parade of Lights, the Romulus Salvation Army, and the Rehab Center. And he also volunteers for the Veterans of America and has served as a participant and the organizer of the Romulus Belleville Crop Walk. I almost said CROP, Crop Walk, which raises the funds for the needy. And he serves
and he has served for 5 years as the Vice President of the John Velasco Foundation, which is responsible for bringing $750,000 in donation to the city of Romulus. Whereas the Krens recently celebrated 50 years of a 50-year wedding anniversary. They have 3 children, 3 grandchildren. Son Derek resides in Oceanside, California. His spouse with his wife and their son Joshua. Son Jason lives in Fisher, Indiana, with his wife Lana and their daughter Lauren. Daughter Maria lives in Livonia with her spouse and their daughter Ashley. Therefore, let it be resolved that the City of Romulus elected officials, on behalf of the city and the community, thank Reverend Kren for his many contributions to Romulus, making it a better place to live. And it's signed by Mayor Burcroft, our clerk, Mrs. Bragg, Mrs. Page, Mr. Barden, Mrs. Abdu, Ms. Talley, Ms. Webb, Ms. Roscoe, myself, and Mrs. Williams. And Reverend, you need to serve. And I was the 14th one they finally asked to read this.
Thank you so much, Councilman Wadsworth. We are grateful. Thank you so much. Bill, there's something about the Community United Methodist Church, because the Community United Methodist Church, when it comes to the Romulus Ministerial Alliance we have in the city of Romulus, where I serve as president. I've been serving as president for a little while now, only because it doesn't pay, and nobody wants it. So that's the only reason I'm still president. But Bill was the secretary when he came in for the whole 7, 8 years he was at the Methodist Church. Did an outstanding job as the secretary, because that's not my forte. I stay in my lane, in my zone. That's not. And Bill was always excellent, always did everything correct. And then when Bill left, I didn't tell anybody. I told the new pastor of the Methodist Church that one of the requirements that you have to be the secretary. So the next person, Mark, came in, and Mark was the secretary for a minute. Methodist Church don't keep them long. And then Mark was there for a while, and then he left, and then Cindy came in, and I said, Cindy, one of the requirements, you gotta be the secretary of the Alliance, and Cindy was the secretary for the Alliance. And then things just went haywire. We don't know what's going on at the Methodist Church. Lord, we just need much prayer. And we had nobody there that could be the secretary. So then, now we stuck, because I don't know how to be secretary. And then we had to go to the Baptist. And we found Tina Talley. And Reverend Tina Talley, she's gonna come, we're gonna present Bill the certificate from the Romulus, I call them the best ministerial alliance in the city. We all type, everybody's in there. We have a great time coming together. You don't know we're in an alliance. Sometimes you think we just have a great fun. So Tina's gonna come and read the plaque from the ministerial alliance to Bill.
She looks like a minister who can party. She looks like a pastor who can party.
Reverend Willis told me not to talk, but since he got me up here. Sorry. First I want to say it is an honor to be able to come up here and honor Pastor Reverend Kren. Pastor Kren. I haven't known him that long. My mom has known him for a long time because she was a part of the Ministerial Alliance, so I do truly count it an honor to be here, so thank you. And thank you for allowing me to say this. I've had to follow some tough shoes being Secretary of the Ministerial Alliance. You have some tough shoes to follow. I hope I've been keeping up. But it's been a pleasure to serve in the Alliance. Following up your footsteps, you set a great example. I just hope to be able to just, meet that, so thank you. So I am gonna read now, I'm ready. I gotta put on my sexy specs, sorry. Certificate of Appreciation awarded to Reverend William Kren. With deep appreciation, respect, and gratitude, for the many years of service as a member and secretary of the Romulus Christian Ministerial Alliance. In addition to your participation and ongoing support in the Romulus community, awarded this 27th day of April 2018, Pastor Arthur C. Willis, President of the Romulus Christian Ministerial Alliance, Tina Talley, Secretary of the Romulus Christian Ministerial Alliance.
Almost, Bill. We're about to get there. I know you're ready. This time we're going to have Mayor Pro Tem. She's going to come at this time. Brother John Barton is going to come, and he's going to make a presentation from the certificate of recognition from Debbie Stabenow office. He's going to come. Give him a round of applause. He come. Mayor Pro Tem John Barton.
It's fine, go.
First of all, congratulations, Reverend Kren. Before I start, I have a challenge today. And I got to share it with you guys. You know, I used to play sports before I got too old. And I picked up this person. Because I used to play basketball in high school, and junior college, and on to college. And he challenged me to a game of basketball. Oh man, I beat you, you ain't nothing. I said, well, come on, let's go to the court. I beat him 12-0. 12-0. He had a sad face on this. I said, because I had picked him up, you know, to take him to the court. I said, now I'm gonna take you home to the court. I took him home and his mother said, what happened? Oh, Mr. Barton beat me terribly. So I told his mother, next time you send your 6-year-old son to beat me, you got something coming. This is a certificate of congressional recognition presented on this day, April 27, 2018, to Reverend William Kren for being named Person of the Year by the Chamber of Romulus of Commerce, U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow. Thank you.
Broke my camera, John.
Thank you, Rod.
At this time, we're going to have Dennis going to come up and bring up Rotary.
Emery Long, come on, start making your way up here. Thank you. Emery is our president of Rotary. Believe it or not, in Rotary, we're gentlemen, but we're not too gentle. This is a true story. It happened this past Wednesday night. We're sitting around talking, and we had all these old guys about, you know, needing the little handicap thing up there, and I said, well, you know, I got 2 knees are bone on bone and hip bone on bone. And Bill says, well, I got stage 4 cancer. Everybody says, yeah, Bill, throw the C card. I said, at least you can walk from the back of the parking lot up here. I can't. It's no coincidence that over the years, that almost 1/3 of our honorees are Rotarians. Rotarians have served this city going on, I believe, 80 years next year. Am I right, Emery, on that? And it is something that we take pride in. Rotary is a group of people that do an awful lot for the community. One of the honored awards is the award that Emery is going to bring right now and give to Bill.
Thank you, Dennis. And thank you all for coming out to celebrate Bill's Person of the Year Award. This award that I'm going to be presenting is called the Paul Harris Award. This award is 113 years old. 1905 and was presented. Paul Harris started the Rotary organization out of Chicago, Illinois. And before I present this award, first of all, I would like to have all of our Rotarians that are present here today, those past members and present members, to stand, please. That means all members. Bill, as I present this award to you, this award is in recognition of your great service that you not only had to the community, but to Rotary. And especially being a God's person and sharing God's word with everyone that you meet. I personally appreciate your service to me, because as I take my journey with the Lord, you help me out tremendously. Congratulations to you as I put this award on you. We appreciate your service. Congratulations.
Bill, we're almost there. One more award. Mark is going to come and he's going to present, Mark Lewis is going to come and present the Person of the Year and the Chamber Award. Mark.
You guys are lucky I found my notes up here, or it might have been long. So anyways, speaking of the Rotary, and we don't have a Kiwanis Club anymore. I don't know if we have a J.C.'s Club. But Jason Levette, well-loved member of Romulus Rotary, longtime member of the Romulus Chamber of Commerce, longtime board member, he had a saying. He said that the Rotary, they own the town, the Kiwanis runs the town, and the J.C.'s have a night on the town. So, okay. Sue's singing was absolutely beautiful. How nice was that to have your wife sing at your I gotta go off script here. I remember a few things. When Bill lived over on Ferndale Street, and my kids, they're in their late 20s now, but they were in Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. Whenever it was time to sell Girl Scout cookies, Boy Scout popcorn, we could always rely on the Krens to purchase whatever we had for sale, and I do appreciate that. So you help those kids go to camp in a roundabout way, do some things, okay? Now, I've had the honor of being associated with the Romulus Chamber of Commerce for around 30 years, serving in several capacities, and it's amazing when I think about the fact that I've been associated with literally hundreds of dedicated people during that period, people who hold this city's interest at heart. In fact, that so many people that I don't even remember their names. I'll remember their faces. Betsy, you're probably in a situation now where you're having a hard time remembering all the board members we've been through in the last 2 years. There are a lot of long-time board members, but some of the people have to transfer out for their jobs and things like that. Now, Bill happens to be one of those individuals that I served with, as he was a board member, president, and executive director. So he did Karen's job, he was the president, he was a board member, okay? Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm trying to keep up with the Reverend Willis Comedy Act here, okay? He's a Christian man, but he was sandwiched between Karen and Betsy, believe it or not, okay? So nobody's laughing about that one. They don't get the joke, huh?
Say that again, Mark.
He was sandwiched between Karen and Betsy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Now, he's not on the board of directors at this time, but he continues to serve on the nominating committee with J.R. Roden, and J.R. always looks to Bill for his advice on who he should try and pull out of the community to go on to the board of directors. Now, that aside, Bill was not selected for his service to the chamber. He was selected for all the times that he has stepped up to the plate to help other people without expecting anything in return. Julie Allison made the comment that one time they had a driver pass away like unexpectedly, one of their drivers at an airline's parking, and they needed someone to officiate at the funeral, and Bill was there to officiate at that funeral. I've been at several funerals where Bill officiated, so you can always rely on Bill. I mean, it's kind of a tough time to be called upon, but he always does a great job, okay? Now, some of our current Romulus residents were not born in this town, except for Pearl Varner. She was born right on the corner of Bibbins and Ollie, right at the Romulus Hospital, okay? Or they did not graduate from Romulus High School. But as they arrived in this town later in life, they became so entwined in the community that it's as if they lived here all of their life. Bill is one of those persons. He's a Romulus person now, no matter where he works or resides, okay? And I was at the Heroes, the Hometown Heroes thing last night, and I was looking at the city logo, and I realized it's kind of like a Boeing 747 on that. So I don't know, Boeing 747 is a big deal. When that plane landed at the airport, the whole town went out to see those planes land. So in my collection of goodies here, I have a Romulus coin that was coined when the city became a city, okay? This is 1970, it's got the municipal building on this side, it's got the city logo on this side. And last night I was thinking that I needed to find one of these coins to present to Bill. So, there you go. He is a Romulus guy, okay? Now, Bill gave me a hard time. He was a master of ceremonies when I was a first year, and I always heard about how long those speeches were. Like he always reminded me of it. But Bill, however long your speech is, I'm going to go get some communion, right? And I'll sit here and as long as you want to go, okay? So, this is presented to William Kren, the 33rd Romulus Person Year, in appreciation of your outstanding dedication, service, and contributions to the community from the Greater Romulus Chamber of Commerce, April 27, 2018. Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you so much, Mark, for bringing everybody up, taking my job. But since Bill is my friend, I mean that sincerely. I think I was probably one of the very, very first people that when Bill got sick, he called me, and I knew a long time before a lot of other people knew. I didn't even tell the Alliance until he wanted to announce it himself, because that was his personal business. And he confided to me, and that was something that him and I shared, him and I cried about. But by the grace of an almighty God, you can't tell me what God can't do. If he did it for others, he'll do it for you. My friend, my brother, Bill.
Wow. Thank you for coming out tonight. My wife cautioned me not to say this, but I have to. I really don't deserve this. But I'm battling cancer and I don't deserve that either, so. I want to thank a few people personally. First, I have to thank the God that I serve. It's because of his mercy that I'm here this evening. He's blessed me and my family, blessed me with a loving wife and some beautiful children. And they put up with a lot and allowed me to minister, not just in Michigan, but in Ohio and Indiana. Went to school in Kentucky. I drug them all over. If they complain, it was behind my back. But thank you for being there for me. Thank you, Sue. We celebrated 50 years together in February. Most of you don't know this, but before I went in the ministry, I was a supervisor at National Steel, young man then. And I was climbing up the corporate ladder and doing quite well. And then God began to speak to me about the ministry and specifically to be a pastor. And so I said, Sue, one evening I said, honey, sit down. I have something to tell you. And I said, I got to get out of the steel business and go into ministry. And she said, well, I've known that a long time. And she's been with me ever since, always supportive. I just want to tell you I love you. And I got 3 beautiful kids here tonight. I have my son Derek, Janet and Joshua, our grandson. They're back in California. Flew all the way from San Diego to be here tonight. Thank you, son. Love you. And my son Jason, his wife is still working, Lana. Our granddaughter Lauren, she's a sophomore at Ball State. She knows more than I do. And she's finishing up her finals, couldn't be here. But I did FaceTime earlier with her. Jason, thank you for being such a great son. Love you. And then my daughter Maria's here with her husband Brett, my granddaughter Ashlyn, and her significant other, Tyler. They came all the way from Livonia. I have 3 congregations here tonight. Isn't that great? Not too many ministers can say that in one gathering. My journey in ministry started at St. Paul United Church of Christ in Taylor. And when God led us back to Michigan, I got in contact with Pastor Jeff, and we've been friends, and he's been my mentor. It's never too late to have a mentor. And he's mine, he's my pastor. I love the people of St. Paul United Church of Christ. And whenever I can, not too often, I get over there and visit with them and worship with them. And once in a while, the pastor vacates the pulpit for me so that I can preach and get things off my chest, you know. So thank you for being here tonight. I have another congregation here. You heard about them, Community United Methodist Church of Romulus. My wife and I, we came here in 1998. We knew a little bit about Romulus. You see, we, before we went into ministry, lived in Taylor. We knew a little bit about Romulus. I remember once thinking, I would never live in Romulus. Because I live in Taylor, the center of the universe. But we came to in 98 and we fell in love with the community. Not just our congregation, but the community. Romulus has some beautiful people. They really do. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of Romulus for 20 years. Let's try for another 20. And I have half my church here tonight from Dearborn Congregational Church. I'm not going to introduce all of you because I know that would embarrass you, except for maybe one person. They would enjoy it. But there are some beautiful people in Dearborn, let me tell you. And I just love being with them. being their pastor, their friend, my church family. God's doing some good things in Dearborn, and I'm just so blessed to be a part of it. Thank you for coming, and I know you're scattered around, but thank you so much for being here tonight. Now, just a couple more minutes and I'm finished. I promised myself I would not preach tonight, but let me just tell you a little bit about Bill Kren. I grew up on the west side of Detroit, not too far from Briggs Stadium, which became Tiger Stadium, and I attended a Catholic church. I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church. When I was a young boy of about 12 years old, I felt God's calling and I decided I wanted to be a priest. When I was 16, I discovered girls in a very special way. And I thought, I'm sorry, God, I can't be a priest. I love people from the opposite sex, and one day I want to get married. So, but I feel like I kept my promise to the Lord. I'm a priest, and I serve in a congregational church now, and I'm enjoying it, and so God's been so good to us. So I grew up on the west side. I'm the oldest of 7 children. I have some of my siblings here tonight. My brother Frank is here with his wife Janet. They just moved back from Florida. They're back in Michigan, and you couldn't pick a better place to live. And then I have my brother David and his wife Roberta. Thank you for being here tonight. Sometimes Dave and I were mistaken, but I always say that, you know, he looks a little older. He's my younger brother. My sister Kathy's here with her husband, and thank you for driving up from Georgia to be here. Manny, you're a good guy, and you've been taking good care of that beautiful young lady. Thank you. I have a young lady here it's like my daughter, Mary Outlaw, and her husband Doug. Thank you. Love you guys. This is part of my family. So I'm the oldest, so I was in charge. And so I helped raise those kids over there, and I did a good job. My sister Jeannie, she lives in Brown City, couldn't be here tonight, but she wanted to be a part of this. And I have a brother out in Texas, and I called him on the phone, and he said, Bill, I can't be there. Work has got me trapped. So Kevin, wherever you're at, God bless you, love you. And then I have a brother who passed away a few years ago, Brother Paul. And that's all I'll say. He was a great guy and had a beautiful family. Got to say something about my parents. I wasn't raised in a father knows best type of family. My dad was blue collar, and he was a World War II veteran, and he was kind of tough, and we didn't always agree. But let me tell you, I got something from my dad that really helped me through life. More than once he would say, now Bill, I don't care what you do for a living and who you work for, you give them your best. And so he gave me work ethics, and I appreciate that. My mom, she passed away at a very early age, but I remember growing up, and so many times she would say, Billy, you can be anything you want to be. You just stay focused and you'll get there. And she encouraged me, and I so much appreciate Mom and Dad. Now you heard about me working in a steel mill and also in the ministry. It took me 29 years to figure out what I really wanted to be in life, and that would be a minister of the gospel. And again, I've enjoyed serving in Ohio and Indiana and Kentucky and back here in Michigan. I'm so thankful that through some circumstances, God led me to Romulus in 1998. And again, that's where I fell in love with the people and the community, and I'm so glad that I could be given the opportunity. I want to say this to all you folk from Romulus tonight. Thank you for letting me serve here for 20 years. I appreciate it. and I love you, and I thank you. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for this honor. I didn't expect it, but I appreciate all that you do and allowing me to be a part of it. And finally, thank you, City of Romulus, you elected officials. You know, I've been down to City Hall on more than one occasion, and it's an open door there. I can walk into Leroy's office, Mayor Burkhoff's office, about any time I want and say hi. I can visit with the council people that are working. They're just so gracious. And so it's a fun city. And hopefully we'll be continuing in this relationship for a long time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a blessing.
Do that right.
Offering taken. I told Brother Art that.
Just getting ready, I was looking for some trade to give the offering. It just told me it's not working. There's a lot of special people we want to thank. We certainly want to thank all of you, those that helped make the Person of the Year possible. Mark, we thank you. Terry, we thank you. Larry, we thank you. Jill, we thank you. Allison, we thank you. Oscar, we thank you. Thank you, Roger, for taking the pictures. Thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for the slideshow presentation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, the Sheraton staff, those that were not talking back in the back. Other than that, thank you so much, Terry. You did a great job. Thank you so much. And Pastor, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. You are dismissed. May God bless you. Thank you so much.